My name's Dave Dubeau, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content.
Hey gang, if you've been around a computer in the last few years, you know AI is the big thing. Question is, how do we apply AI effectively in real estate? Well, I have an AI expert on the line, zooming in from Great Britain. Peter Swain knows a heck of a lot about AI, and we're going to see how we can best apply artificial intelligence in real estate investing in 2026. So Peter, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
So Peter, most of our gang, they are in the real estate space. Vast majority are in North America, either US or Canada, and AI is on the top of everybody's mind. But the question is, how can we apply this as real estate investors? So what are some of your thoughts about this?
100%. And it's the question I get asked the most often, as a doctor, how do I, as a chiropractor, how do I, as a coach, how do I, as a real estate investor, how do I? Because I think everybody now has got to the stage where they understand the power of what this can do, but how they actually use it is maybe a bit beyond them because it's such a new concept. So,
well, not only that, but there's so many different AI tools out there.
100%.
It's very easy to get overwhelmed. That's me.
I read 290 emails and RSS feeds every day, and I don't regard myself as keeping up. So it's my full-time job, and I'm behind. So
well, I think you should get AI to do that for you, my friend.
We did that for a while, to be completely honest. Okay, so if I was a real estate investor, here's 3 ways that I would use AI straight away. So the first thing I would say is dispel what tool you use, from the ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, Gemini, whichever of the LLMs, large language models you prefer. Just stay there for the moment. And the reason I say that is if you imagine before you used Google, people used to ask me, well, is Google or Yahoo better? Like, are you using either? They go, no. I'm like, then it doesn't really matter. The 0 to 1 of this transaction is to become an AI first thinker. So wherever you are, great. Most people will probably be using ChatGPT, but if you're in like a Google workspace, Gemini is often included for free. So you may be there. So whichever you're at, the first thing I would do is suggest to people these 3 quite easy sets of prompts. One is to upload everything that you know that you're on a deal that you have, and use what we call a top and tail strategy. So the top and tail is you take the prompt, which is going to go in the middle, and you add a top and a tail. So the top would be, who do you need the AI to be? So you would say something like, you're an experienced real estate investor in British Columbia that has generated 3-fold returns consistently for the last 30 years, something like that. Or you're a dietitian that has helped multiple 40-plus males lose 100 pounds. So whatever you need the AI to be is your top. Then your next prompt in the real estate case would be, I want you to perform a due diligence analysis on the following deal sheet. You are to point out every red flag in order of priority and severity and cross-reference it to known factual cases or known data points that you can point me to help me understand. And then your tail is who's it for. So in this case, if you're doing a due diligence, it'd be for you. So it reads something like, you are to take on the persona of an experienced real estate developer in British Columbia that has 20 years experience delivering 3-fold returns on their portfolio. Perform a due diligence analysis on the following. I am a 3-year veteran, 20-year veteran, 1-year veteran, never done real estate before, because you want it to assume the persona that you need it to be.
Right.
Do the job you want it to do, but give it to you in a way that you can understand. Because the level of the level of feedback you're looking for if you're a 20-year veteran is very, very different than the level of feedback you're looking for if this is your first deal.
Good.
So that would be prompt pattern. We call them prompt patterns. That would be prompt pattern number 1. Prompt pattern number 2 would be, you are an experienced capital raiser raising capital for real estate deals in British Columbia. You have done this for X amount of years. I'm about to give you my talking points for a presentation I'm about to give. This is the profile of the person or company I'm giving it to. Analyze them and tell me where I need to adjust my pitch in order to make the most compelling argument to them possible. So if you're running into somebody more risk averse, you're going to want to focus on that you've looked after the risks. If you're looking at somebody that's more reward centric, you're going to want to focus more on that. And then your last line again is I am a, same thing again, experienced on pitching, not really that experienced at all, whatever it might be. Then the third one that I like for real estate investment is you are a coach with 25 years experience helping people perform at their best level from a sales and revenue perspective. Here is a transcript of a call I just did to this company aiming to secure this amount of investment in this property. Tell me everything I did right, everything I did wrong, and everything you would suggest I do differently next time. So those are three. Doesn't matter whether you're using Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT, you plug those three things in, you're going to start your journey towards intentional AI use, what we refer to as level 1, which is using it to actually achieve business goals, instead of level 0, which is a glorified Google / helping you write the odd email. So which way we want to get people to.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you for 3 very practical, pragmatic
Pleasure.
ideas there. I think those can work for everybody. I love the one, we work a lot of people helping them to raise private capital. So the middle one really, well, they all were fantastic, but that one really resonated. I think that'll be very helpful for a lot of people. And then
Perfect.
the feedback on your own performance, doing sales presentations, doing investment pitches. Yeah, that's brilliant as well.
Hey there, if you're a capital raiser, a syndicator, or a fund manager, and you're looking for a steady flow of incoming accredited investor leads, then go ahead, grab a free copy of my new book, How to Get 20 Accredited Investor Meetings Every Month Without Cold Calling, Networking, or Chasing People. You can get that at 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com. Again, that's the number 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com.
So a couple of questions come to mind, Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recommend, if you're I'm most familiar with ChatGPT, sounds like you could probably create a custom GPT all around that and just plug stuff in there on a regular basis. Is that something you recommend, or is that level 2, or where?
No. So custom GPTs I find useful for 2 things. So for those that don't know, custom GPT is essentially a wrapper around a set of prompts or a prescriptive order of prompts.
Yeah.
And they're very, very useful. And it tends to curtail your journey of discovery a little bit. So what I prefer people do is use Whisperflow or Willow Voice. And what those tools are, they're just one-click access to AI transcription on any software. Because those prompts that I said are so simple to do. If you start voice prompting instead of text prompting, your prompts will automatically become 1,000 words instead of 100 words. And the more information you're putting into a prompt, the better the results you're going to get. We've done some math here, and it works out to be roughly a 500 to 1 context to prompt ratio is where you start getting great results. So if you have a 10-word prompt, write me a pitch deck, 5 words, then my suggestion is you need about 2,500 words of context for that prompt to give you great results. And the 2 gaps that we see consistently with people are they pick up an AI, they don't give it any context whatsoever, and they come to one of 2 conclusions, and both of them are pretty damaging. Either this is amazing, and I promise you it wasn't. It was just that you were asking it something you didn't understand how to evaluate the answer, and it's programmed to be people-pleasing, so it sounded great.
Yeah.
Or problem number 2 is you went, this is rubbish. I don't understand what all this hullabaloo is about because this result doesn't work for me.
So Peter,
so the context is important.
Yeah. So I'm a little bit lost there. So you're talking over my head a little bit. So what were those two things that you meant? Whisper what, and what do they do?
So let me give you an example.
Yeah.
Let's turn it into humans and humans.
Yeah.
If you said, hey, Pete, can you come and run my podcast for me? For that to be success, and when I say successful, I mean I keep the lights on, successful.
Yeah.
I would say, sure, here's what I need to know. I need to know the schedule of calls that are coming up. I need to know if there's any guest that's more important than another. Is anyone I can bump? Is anyone I can move? Are there any bills that really have to be paid, or can I push some of those off? Any lawsuits? Might want to know that. And how, by the way, how do I get in the office? So I'm going to ask you 100 good questions to even just keep the lights on whilst you go on holiday with your granny. What AI is going to do, AI is going to go, sure, Dave, this is how I do it. And it's going to just take over with a whole set of assumptions that have been made. And either you're going to look at it and go, that's a terrible idea, or that's a fantastic idea. Either way, it's a terrible idea. But AI the growth of AI has been underpinned on it telling people what they wanted to hear, not telling them good information.
I'm resonating with that, my friend. It's churned out so much bullshit for me. I tell you what.
100%. And it's because you didn't put enough context into it.
Okay. All right. So
the Whisper and Willow.
Yeah.
Our voice transcription tool. So I press that button and I talk and it puts it into text. So when I'm prompting AI, it'll be something along the lines of, hey, I'm about to go on this podcast. This is the guest. This is the website link. Give me the 3 main talking points. Give me an extrapolation of their audience, who it is that I'm going to be talking to. What are the main points that I need to land with? Are there any red flags I need to know? Anything I need to remember to say? Based on the last 3 podcasts that I've done, which I'm going to upload the transcripts for you now. Where did I do well? Where did I do badly? So my prompts are
huge.
Yeah. And as a result, I get amazing output. If I had sat and typed that, I wouldn't do it because it would take too long.
I guess maybe part of the confusion I've got is my chat GPT, I can click on the microphone and talk to it. Mm-hmm. Is that the same thing? Is that what we're talking about basically?
It's in the same league. This is 3 steps up.
Okay. Why? What's because it, this thing just kind of.
Yeah, I can use the same tool in every piece of software. So if I go into my email software, I can just hit that and go, hi, Dave, thank you so much for your time on the podcast. Really appreciate it as a guest. You did a great show and I'm looking forward to thing. But incidentally, if you can think of 3 other people we should talk to about appearances, that'd be fantastic. Kind regards. Thanks. Send. So I get through roughly 120 emails in a morning.
Got it. Okay. Now I'm getting it. Now it's finally sinking in. Thanks for
I'm glad you see this is going to come up in my coaching notes to myself. It's like, you should have explained that better. This is how we explain it next time.
Well, no, you just happen to be talking to a dum-dum. So, hey, I think you explained it just fine. Okay.
So it's just a consistent training of I just press that key and talk wherever I am.
Yeah. Love that. I'm going to check that out myself later on today after I'm done my episodes. That's fantastic. So, Peter, I think I interrupted you. You're in the middle of the flow. I apologize.
Well,
so I think we went through 2 things. So the first were like the 3 different prompts, and then we're talking about how to make things a lot more efficient and give much more context to whatever AI you're using.
Yeah.
And then what else?
Yes, because if we use voice prompts and you just talk at a rate of knots, most people talk about 300 words a minute if they just blah, 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 blah. Most people type about 30 words a minute. So getting that huge context that I'm saying happens naturally when you do it with a voice, and it gets very, very hard to do it for text. So the first thing is, those are the 3 I'd start with. The second thing is voice prompting is going to get you superlatively better results than text. Mm-hmm. And the third thing I would always say is technology should always follow the business, not the other way around. So what people have tended to do sometimes is they go, oh, it's a shiny object. Where can I use it? And then some Instagram expert will say, you can do an N8N workflow. You can do this. I'm like, well, okay, that sounds great. That doesn't work for me. So what I like to say to people is, which metric, if you could move a metric in your business, which metric would move your business the most? Like, just start there. And then quite literally use AI to help you with that. So press that voice button and explain where you're at. Hey, I'm raising $10 million for this property and I'm struggling with insert blank here. I'm generating enough qualified or accredited investor calls, but my close rate doesn't seem enough for me. But if you could go and check what the current averages are whilst we're having this conversation, that'd be great. And what I'd like is for you to ask me questions. So you're asking the AI to ask you questions so that you can triage the root cause of this. And when we know the root cause of this, then I want to work through how we can fix the root cause of this. If you use AI intentionally, as I've just suggested, a 20% increase in revenue at a 20% decrease in time spent is no more than a week, 2 weeks away from you.
Wow.
Realistically.
Yeah. So that sounds amazing. What would be, not necessarily within real estate, but what would be an example of one of your clients that has applied this, kind of the before, during, and after of that journey?
Yeah, so I think as a good example, we have a coach. He left a very large car mark to form his own coaching business. He decided, or we helped him decide, he decided he would do 200 short form podcasts. They're like 5-minute podcast episodes. He's on episode 199. I'm so proud of him.
Nice. Solo episodes, just him talking?
Yeah, just 5-7 minutes. Here's my thing of the day.
Yeah.
And it's a private off-market podcast. So he then reaches out to car dealerships and say, hey, there's this super cool thing. You might want to subscribe here. Every day it's 5 minutes intentionally just for sales managers, just to car dealerships. And his content is now being licensed by Mazda and one other. He just kept putting it out there and kept refining his workflow with AI. So how AI now chooses the subject he's going to talk about. AI now presents the slides. AI now presents the one page. AI does the landing page. AI does the outreach. So that's taken him about 6 months. But then another lady joined our mastermind last month, and her burning problem was she's spending 19 hours a month sorting invoices. They're a money lender.
Yeah.
So she described her workflows. We have to go and get the invoice. We have to download the invoice. We have to put it into these 2 Dropbox folders. Then we have to put it into QuickBooks. Then we have to categorize it. Then we have to put it into Monday. Then we have to do this. It's taking 19 hours a month. She spent 8 hours last weekend automating all of that. And it now completes every morning on autopilot. Wow. AI scans the email, AI grabs the invoice, AI categorizes it, AI puts it in the right folders, AI end to end, she doesn't need to touch it ever again. So that's 20 hours a month that she now has to go back to doing the things that she enjoys and the things she's good at and the things that make her money instead of the things that suck her time.
Oh, that is beautiful. So who do you work with and how do you work with them, Peter?
So we work with solopreneurs and entrepreneurs across a whole different range. So we start with people that literally are a couple of K a month and they're just launching their business and just starting out, all the way up to people doing, I think the largest person in our group probably does 2-3 million a month. So somewhere between 0 and 50 million. And we have different programs at different stages that give them different levels of insights next to where they're at, what's going to be useful for them, and how they can grow. So we've done that since 2023. I downloaded the ChatGPT beta. At the time, I was the chief revenue officer for a VC fund in Latin America, bizarrely. I knew this is where I had to go. So I'm like, hey guys, I'm out. I've got to go and learn this because this doesn't just change the world. It changes the very game that we're all playing. So I wanted to go and understand it and get ahead of it and help people out.
Beautiful. Peter, if people want to connect with you, where should they go?
They should go to peterswain.com/welcome. And we've got some treats there for them just to say thank you for tuning in and listening.
Hey, well, thank you for being on the show and sharing some very, very valuable prompts. And more importantly, even just like the big picture on how to really apply AI quickly. So thank you so much for that.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you.
All right, everybody, take care. See you on the next one.
Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewsyou.com.